Let's take a look at these rat fuckers in North Korea and dissect the bullshit that they be about. Let's take a look at this, man. Let's look at these pieces of fucking shits and try to get a better understanding, try to gain a better understanding of the thought process of some fucking hermits that snort unicorn dust. Dead unicorn carcasses. These fucking pieces of rejected shits, they are xenophobic. They are. They mostly are. They largely and chiefly are. Dennis Rodman, is allowed to go there and chill with, Kim Jong-un, because I guess some, North Koreans, they like, basketball players in America. Perhaps it's because in the Hermit Kingdom, you have these little tiny dudes, and they, probably are, fixated on the height, of these folks and their abilities to dunk balls in hoops. You know, I can understand that, but mostly when you look at imagery from North Korea, you don't have to be a satellite expert. You don't have to be a satellite imagery subject matter expert to look at photos of North Korea and understand that they're a homogenous, xenophobic, fuck outsiders type country. They're a pariah state and they're rogue, and they don't like folks usually who aren't them. They don't like people who are not of their own color, their own anatomy, their own physiology, their own gene pool. If you're not North Korean, they pretty much fucking hate you. Now, they need money, so they're gonna have a tourist industry, right? That's one way of generating money in addition to their illicit, i.e. illegal narcotics, their weapons that they sell, their chemical weapons, their firearms, their stupid fucking phony ballistic missiles, and rocketry program. These dudes are Stone Age medievals, is what they are. And they're dumb. And in a lot of ways, they're just stooges playing out a theatrical stage play. We need to look at the deeper psychology behind these hermits and why they do this shit that they do. It's obvious that they want concessions from the United States. We've known this forever. They're always trying to play up some kind of theater shit, right? They're always trying to say some fucking outlandish, absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous, preposterous bullshit. This is what they try to do. They have a lot of different mouthpieces in order to facilitate that, in order to do that. They have different folks within their caste system, because it's a caste system, their fucking hermit kingdom. And some of the players who you see on TV, you think that they're in control of this, and you think that they're in control of that. Their whole shit is an illusion, is an illusion. It's all just one fucking stupid ass, wonky, campy, terribly fucking crafted, stage play. It really is. But that aside, you have to, and taking that, it's a dichotomy. You need to look at it as being twofold. You need to look at it through two different lenses. You need to look at the duality of it all. You see, there are entities within any country that are moderate, that are fucking what we would consider in the West to be normal. You're gonna have normal motherfuckers in North Korea that are just normal humans that were born normal, and they're just going along with the shit because of whatever reason. They're just like, keep my head down and go along with the stage play. It's fucking scary and it's dangerous, and I'm being told that I'll be fucking cattle prodded if I don't. And fucking re-educated and put in some kind of, re-education program. You know? Blown up by artillery fire. Whatever bullshit they do in fucking North Korea that the whole world knows about now. They're stupid, inhumane bullshit. So, you have folks in North Korea that are just normal, down-to-earth, well-grounded folks that have sensibility about them, they have scruples, and they function on a normal human level. In other words, they can be removed, extracted from, defect from that society, and they can live outside that society, and you'd be like, this is a normal fucking dude. This dude is down, or female, woman. You know, you could be like, man, this chick, she's just straight cool. Like, she just loves plants and animals and the world and nature, and she means no fucking harm. Because these people have been abused psychologically by this totalitarian fucking regime that wants to be totalitarian. And, you know, they want to be nihilists. They want to be fucking, dictators. They want to be statists. They want to be communists. They want to be. They're playing out a business model that was taught to them by the communists from the Soviet Union and from China before North Korea. They're a little protectorate. They're a little surrogate of China. They're a fucking little baby toddler country that is having fits and throwing tantrums. We all know this shit, man. Okay? So then they try to get this bravado, this machismo. They've got the little, they've got the inferiority complex. So they're always gonna say they've always been saying some crazy shit. And it's like any country, man. Anybody can say that they're part of DPRK. They can't control shit in the way that some people might think that they can. Some folks outside their country, some analysts even, they believe that everything is strictly controlled by the fucking DPRK. That's bullshit, man. When you see these stories about defectors and people who have been in the North Korean army, and they've been part of the communist regime there and the Communist Party, DPRK, these motherfuckers, man, they watch porn. They like to watch porn. They have received, some of them, Bibles that have been thrown over the fence, if you will. Okay? The perimeter there, the border, that have been, infiltrated into their country by, religious folks that have gotten Bibles into the country. They've been found by, military, personnel, some high ranking, some lower ranking, some in between. They've been found, and rather than be discarded, they've been read, they've been absorbed, and folks have actually been swayed, toward the West and want to work with the West and have worked with the West. It's the same age-old fucking story that takes place over and over again, man. These despotic, wannabe fucking nihilist rulers, these fascists, man, these communists, these extreme motherfuckers, they always do the same business model, and it's always the same stupid fucking story. So, you do have folks in North Korea who are part of the government and who are ordinary citizens who have received CD-ROMs and flash drives that are filled with South Korean media and Western films and nudity and pornography and all these different things and psychological operations. And so not everybody in North Korea is working for the North Korean regime. There are people inside North Korea, like any country, that are working against the regime. There is no country that the state itself is capable of controlling every single human being within that country. So in North Korea, we've established that there are everyday, ordinary, down-to-earth, everyday Joes. Okay? Average, everyday Joes, regular folks who are just trying to fucking get by. They're just trying to live. And look at North Korea, man. They're virtually impoverished. Most of their motherfucking citizens are impoverished. If they're not with the military, even if they're employed, they're making a fucking fraction of what folks make in the West. And I'll tell you this, man, there was a time when I saw in some literature, you can do the research, don't quote me on this, I don't know how accurate it is, but I'm pretty sure that at some time in history, the average citizen in some part of China, they received in contrast to the average salary of someone here in the West, the average worker in some part of China on a monthly basis, this was the average monthly income, was a ration of rice equivalent to about $200. That's what the average income was for like a family, was $200 fucking dollars worth of rice per person, per family, it could be. So, and I'm talking $200 fucking dollars. Imagine if you only made $200 a month or less, and it was in the form of a ration of rice. North Korea, these motherfuckers aren't too far behind that, man. Their rogue government will tell citizens of their country, prepare to eat tree bark, prepare to eat grass, prepare to eat fucking wood, okay? And if you think that's crazy, they actually did that before. You can research the history of North Korea. There was actually information that was broadcast to citizens when the government knew that there was going to be a famine, and it knew that it couldn't feed its people. So it lied to the people, the government of North Korea did, and it told them, and it had the scientific information that was like broadcast, and it was pseudo-scientific. It wasn't even fucking real. And I know this because North Korea was my AOR. In other words, it was my target country at American Military University that was approved by my professor. And so I studied both North Korea and South Korea. So as an anecdote, as a historic fact, there was a time when citizens of North Korea were lied to by their government, which of course they always are lied to, but they were told that if they ate this certain vegetation, that it would be sustenance and they would be able to live just off that basic, vegetation, and that all would be well. The government knew that it was going to kill them. And the government led the citizens that were duped of this to believe with this apocryphal information, this fallacious information that was totally fucking staged up and fabricated, that if they followed this, these strictures, that they would be able to survive. And the government knew that this vegetation over time, it would ultimately result in the deaths of these folks. North Korea will sacrifice its people if it has to. It has no problem doing that. It's done that in the past, with untold numbers of lives lost because, no one really fucking knows. The UN can have its estimates and whatnot. Millions, hundreds of thousands, who really fucking knows, right? Because have you been in North Korea? Did you see those dead bodies? Were you there to account for them? No, you fucking were not. So if someone in the West publishes some information, they can say, oh yeah, well, this is what happened during this time. We don't really fucking know. We can only estimate. How do we get that information? Satellite, electronic intercept, listening in on folks who think that they're not being listened to, defectors, spies, observers, eyes on the ground, folks who are subject matter experts. I mean, the list goes on. And then you try to piece it all together, put it all together, and you try to figure out, you try to paint this coherent, cohesive, larger, bigger, better, finer, higher resolution picture, right? A mosaic, if you will. And so we know that North Korea, in the past, it has sacrificed its people, which it's doing now, by way of its stupid fucking rocketry program, missile program, ballistic missile bullshit, playing around with fucking rockets all day. It's not feeding its people. And we all know why. Because the country has leadership issues, it has fucked up problems, and so the rocket program and all this ballistic missile hype shit, all this hubris, it's a way for the regime to distract the people, the citizenry, right? So the citizens in North Korea, they're like, yeah, that's right, war with the United States. They're always told that there's a war, ongoing war. You know how many fucking wars they've had with the United States according to North Korea? You know how many nuclear fucking wars there have been with North Korea? You know how many fucking stories the government has told? You see, a lot of the shit that North Korea says, it's not for the West. It's not intended for the West. And that's where people get lost in translation. What North Korea talks about, a lot of times, is for its domestic audience. People hear that, but a lot of times people don't even know what the fuck that means. I mean, they're like, okay, we get it, it's for the people of North Korea. But what does it mean in terms of for the people of North Korea? It's not for everyone, because not everyone, if you look at concentric rings within a larger circle, right? So you got a large circle, and then a smaller circle, and smaller and smaller and smaller into basically infinity. You can make as many fucking circles within circles, right? As long as they keep becoming infinitely smaller. The citizenry of North Korea, there are different rings of knowledge and higher intelligence information. Some of those rings are obviously let in on higher knowledge and some lesser knowledge, right? So within those lower rungs, those lower rings, those smaller rings of intelligence, of information, of access to higher knowledge, you have folks that really genuinely, truly, if you were to hook them up to military grade biometrics, they would repeat to you whatever they've been inculcated with, whatever they've been brainwashed with, whatever they've been told and instructed to believe by the government of North Korea. They've never been to the West. They've never been out of North Korea. They don't have access to the kind of internet that we have. They don't know. They were born in a little microcosm. They were born in a little cell world. In other words, a little bubble world. And they've been lied to like the Truman Show their entire lives. So they genuinely, honestly, sincerely, truly believe this shit that they're told by their stupid motherfucking government. And so then there are those who know more. And then there are those who know more than just more. And it keeps on going until you get to the top where people know the truth. And they know that the government is just bullshit. And they have their motivations, whatever they may be, and some go along with it for, again, whatever reasons they decide to play along with the whole shit. Maybe they feel that the government of North Korea is bullshit on some level, but they don't really want to go anywhere else because maybe they don't want to live in the West. even though they know that the North Korean government's bullshit. And they're part of the North Korean government. Maybe they're like, yeah, America has a lot of litter and garbage and, there's pestilence and fucking, it's supposed to be a first world country. They have high crime rates in different cities and gangs and, whatever, people are impoverished and there are a lot of people and fucking weirdos, whatever their stories are. Maybe they're like, hey, I know that North Korea's fucked up, but I'm better just chilling here where we don't have that shit in this country. Okay, so you gotta think of that too. And then you got folks that are in North Korea and they're just waiting for a fucking escape route, They're like planning to defect and they've been working on it for a while and they're just waiting for that time when they can fucking sneak over the border. And you can read so many countless stories of folks who have done that. There are defectors who have defected who you won't know about because it's classified information and they're working with foreign governments against North Korea. There are folks who have left North Korea and North Korea doesn't even know that they're fucking gone. There have been people who have left North Korea and they've either sneaked back into the country without detection or they've been sent back and they've been dealt with by the government of North Korea. So in other words, if you followed what I said, there are folks that have escaped from North fucking Korea and they went back into the country and sneaked back in without detection. That has happened as well. When you look at the math spread, when you look at the totality of information, when you look at the larger data set, you'll see mathematically that kind of shit happens too, and has happened. So, these people that are always saying this shit, man, they're always talking about, Trump, he lit a fuse, and, this thing, and, Trump has declared war, and blah, blah, blah. All these different fucking mouthpieces, all these different people who claim to be part of the official state media, right? Okay, so look at this. I'm online, and I type North Korea into Google, and I'm looking at the news, alright? And you go down here to telegraph.co.uk. What do you know about the Telegraph, man? Huh? What do you fucking know about the Telegraph? Huh? Okay, so, let me give you another one. Let's go up here and say North Korea, and then let's go, New York. Okay? What comes up under this? Oh, who's this right here? This is another one. New York Post. Yeah. North Korea to US. We're on the brink of nuclear war. Yeah. Because that's what you fucking want people to believe, right? That's what you tell people all the time. Every fucking day you've been saying this shit, right? So, notice how nypost.com, alright? Okay, that's NY as in New York Post.com. New York Post. And as I indicated in the previous, we're talking about The Guardian, right? Every motherfucking day, whether shit is, cool or not, cool in the sense that, like, you're not even really thinking that there's some bullshit, right? These people, man, at, the Telegraph, right? These people, man, they want to play up this hype shit. They want to play this shit up, and they want you to be concerned, and they want you to be fearful. So what they're gonna tell you is new concerns. They're gonna phrase it and paint it in this way. New concerns. New reasons to be scared. They're gonna tell you that you're scared. They're going to try to broadcast into your mind via psychological operations. They're going to try to convince you that you are scared by telling you that you are. And this is the game of these motherfucking, these companies that you really kind of wonder who's behind this shit, right? Because you'll see some stuff where you're like, oh, tourism in North Korea. Oh, country's pretty much chilling and, they're having this, festival. Okay. But then, you go to this website and they're like, yeah, doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. Why are those people projecting that kind of shit, man? Why are they trying to telegraph that? Why are they trying to broadcast and disseminate that kind of information? Well, first of all, it's ratings, right? Of course it is. It's ratings. They're trying to get clicks, right? It's clickbait shit. But then look at it like this as well. Who runs this shit? Who runs the fucking New York Post? Who really runs the New York Post? Who runs RT, man? Russia Today. I mean, you fucking tell me, man. Who do you think it is? Let me take a little sip of this Russian vodka real quick. Hold up. Who the fuck do you think runs it, huh? I mean, I'm just asking you, man. I'm asking you a question. It's valid. It's legit. Why are you being led to believe that the North Koreans said this, the North Koreans said that? Are you physically in North Korea? No, probably not. So you see some shit on the internet that's telling you that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, right? Let's just double check. DPRK. Alright. Trump has lit the fuse of war against North Korea. And as I'm sure, you either know or you don't know, the DPRK Twitter page is fake. It's not really Pyongyang. Or as some say, like in the West, they'll say karate instead of karate. Pyongyang, right? Because we've been told that it's Pyongyang. But now motherfuckers are starting to sound, like Pyongyang. I mean, since when were motherfuckers saying Pyongyang, man? Forever and always in the West, just like people say karate. This guy knows karate. They've been saying Pyongyang forever. But now you got all these people that want to be subject matter experts and they're like, Pyongyang. Yeah, but motherfucker, you weren't saying that shit a couple of months ago or a few years ago. And then, so this is what I'm talking about. So you go here to DPRK and let's look these fools up here. DPRK, Democratic People's Republic of Korea. DPRK is the Juche-oriented socialist state which embodies the idea and leadership of Comrade Kim Il-sung, the founder of the Republic and the father of socialist Korea. So then you come down here and let's see. Today, in the West, it's, just before midnight. So we're looking at the 11th of October. And they are ahead of us, but let's look at their articles, from September, it looks like 18. Alright. Reeking off, this is September 28th. Alright. So, the US and South Korean warmongers are going reckless in their move to conduct war games against DPRK at a time when US President Trump made rubbish. When US President Trump made rubbish about the total destruction of the DPRK at the UN General Assembly, pushing the situation on the Korean Peninsula to a more uncontrollable catastrophe. These fucking retards, man. These motherfuckers, dude, when they talk about this shit, when they use this type of language, this type of phraseology, these types of semantics and nuances, these dudes have been saying the same shit forever. Okay? Pushing the situation on the Korean Peninsula to a more uncontrollable catastrophe. North Korea is already a catastrophe. It's already retarded. It's already fucking stupid. At least in some respects. You see, because if you were to see North Korea and what it really looks like, and really look at it under a magnifying glass, under an electron microscope, right? If you were to see what it looks like, it's actually quite orderly. It's actually well kept in a lot of different ways. Yeah, they're broke as shit, and it's state fucking money and drug money, and they're gangsters, and they're bad fucking people, a lot of them, but their facilities in a lot of ways, despite being fucking broke, hey man, I mean, some of their buildings are they're very ornate, they're very decorative. I mean, they're not supposed to be, cause it's communist, but man, there's some decorations that you can see in the communist tradition of it all, in the context of fucking commies, okay? And the shit is pretty motherfucking clean. And yeah, if you were to take a swab and, do a white glove inspection, hey man, there might be some nasty bugs and shit, but I mean, look dude, I don't see litter in these cities, and you don't see a lot of the shit that you see in the West, right? So, where I'm going with this is that North Korea, when I say it's been a catastrophe, I just mean psychologically, dude, and bureaucratically, they're just a train wreck. They're just stupid. They're all over the place with themselves. They pretend like they're not Christian, and they've rejected that whole notion of being Christian. And so they pretend like they're communists, right? And yes, they may be a homogenous society. There may be homogeneity going on, obviously, because they're fucking xenophobes. But not everybody there's xenophobic, but a lot of them are. They're xenophobic because of their environment, because they've been taught to be fucking xenophobic. They go somewhere else. They see some people with some different skin colors and some different, some different shades, right? And they're like, oh, hey, wait, my mind is open, because they're human. They are. I mean, they're human like any other humans. They may be hermits, some of them, but you know what I mean? It's like, you take them outside of that environment, and the brain starts to do things like changes, like paradigm shift. And they're like, oh shit, and as I indicated, there are already folks who live there who already have open minds, and they already know that their government's fucking dumb, right? So, largely dumb. Not everyone in the North, because we're talking about intelligence information and we have to be objective here. Not everyone in the North Korean government is dumb. So, what I am saying to you is that the dichotomy, the duality, again, looking at North Korea through an objective lens, right? Some of the country is a train wreck. Some of it is not. Some of it is good infrastructure. They have a lot of minerals. They're very wealthy, quite wealthy. They just don't know how to distribute their wealth because they hoard it, and they're pieces of shit, i.e. those at the top who hoard, and who restrict and suppress and repress the peoples below and beneath them, right? Like any fucking dictatorship, wannabe fucking society. There are infrastructures there that I would say, in my opinion, are worthy of remaining kept in good condition because they're nice infrastructures. I mean, they could be improved like any infrastructures, but they're fucking fine, man. You see, while you have these mouthpieces and these people talking shit about the West, yeah, we're gonna sink Japan and, nuclear war clouds and, nuclear missiles and, send a missile to the coast of California or Guam or blah, 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 Alaska, whatever stupid shit these fucking rat-faced fucking serpents are talking about, right? These fucking rodent-faced fucking pieces of garbages, okay? These trashes, man, they're gonna say some stupid shit like that. Why not? Huh? Why wouldn't they? They have a mouthpiece, they have a fucking microphone, they're on a soapbox, right? And the government of North Korea can't control everything that everyone says. They don't even know who the fuck is saying this shit. So somebody in their country claiming to be the state media, it's a caste system, you don't know who the fuck these people are. And they're behind the scenes just mouthing off. Oh yeah, nuclear war clouds, we're gonna sink fucking Japan. These dudes don't have technology to do any of that. They don't have that technology. You've been lied to. They don't have that technology. And you've never seen these people talking on the microphone so much. Yeah, there's a fucking dude who goes to the UN, right? And he's got his insane stories that he tells people. Okay? Let's look up this dude. UN, North Korea. Alright? Let's see what this motherfucker's talking about. Okay, they sent this dude, right? They sent this dude to fucking North Korea, from North Korea. And they send this motherfucker to go and talk in front of the UN and say, of course, right, here we go. By his bellicose and insane statement in the UN arena, Trump, it can be said, lit the wick of the war against us, Ree is quoted, okay? And that's from CNN. Okay, so this dude, this dude is a fucking piece of garbage. UN, North Korea. Let's check this fucking dude out and find out why they sent this fucking Solju. Okay? This is not him. Okay, that's the first lady of North Korea. Alright, so this dude here, we're talking about Ri Yong-ho. Okay? This dude, Foreign Minister Ri Yong-ho. Minister Ri Yong-ho. This fucking hoe-ass nigga is in motherfucking the United Nations, okay? And he's talking about America, Trump on a suicide mission. North Korea's sitting back, and they're just probably laughing that they sent this fucking retard to fucking the UN. They're like, man, let's let this dude just spout off at the mouth and say the most ridiculous shit at the UN. These people, man, they're doing this shit just to see how America reacts. You know why? Because they're stupid, man. They're fucking senseless. They're irresponsible. They're mobsters, wannabes. They're reckless. They're dumb. Okay? They're just fucking, they're hermits, man. And so, of course, they think, hey, send this dude, send this hoe-ass nigga, send this hoe motherfucker, send him to fucking the UN, and we'll let him be a mouthpiece for a few minutes. Because this dude's brainwashed, and he's gonna say the crazy shit that we programmed him to say, and we're just gonna sit back and drink some cognac and laugh about the shit that he tells America. Really, man, this dude ain't saying anything new. If you decipher and decode it, he ain't saying nothing new, man. He's saying the same shit that's always been said. He's just rebranded it. It's been repackaged a little bit. It's just some regurgitated, it's just another reincarnation of some shit from North fucking Korea. It's like McDonald's. They're always trying to introduce some new bullshit. It's the same shit with like a new sauce that's not really a new sauce. They just moved a couple little shits around and threw a little sprig of fucking, I don't know, romaine lettuce on it because it's healthier now that it's not iceberg, right? It's just some fucking fake ass shit, okay? So, this piece of garbage, North Korea, they have these different mouthpieces where if you're part of their mob, they can't really control you. No, you can come out and you can be like, I'm DPRK, we're the official state media, and this is the shit that we're gonna say for the fucking day. Right? And then you get the news media in the West, and the news media is like, yeah, state media, North Korea, they said this. Did they really? Did they as a unified voice? They don't have a unified voice. Who the fuck is the state media? It's a bunch of mouthpieces pretending to be the state media. Come on, dude, cut the shit. It's fucking dumb. It's rejected, man, and I'm not buying it. And then, the other thing you gotta consider is that of the motherfuckers who claim to be KCNA and DPRK, how do you know that's real, man? You're not in North Korea. You don't know if that information's coming from our own government or you don't know if it's British. You don't know if it's Australian. You don't know if it's Canadian intelligence. You don't know if it's the French government, DGSE. You don't know if it's GCHQ, if it's US, NSA, CIA, IARPA, some fucking weird agency, man, with some beyond state-of-the-art shit where they could take over the nation's communications and make it look like what they did with Saddam Hussein. And you think that it's North Korea saying some shit, but it's really DARPA that created the internet, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPANET, nigga. You don't fucking know, because you're not in North Korea. Right? And then you're reading these tabloids online. North Korea, war clouds, ballistic missiles lit the fuse. Really, bitch? Yeah. I'm not buying that shit, man. I'm not buying these news stories. They're stupid, man. And who are you trying to warmonger to? Who are you trying to scare, man, with your fucking scare tactics? Right? You trying to fuck with world global economies, man? By scaring motherfuckers, man? That's what you're trying to do? Look how these people do it. One day, they're talking about saber rattling. The next day, they're talking about they need peace. Next day, they're saber rattling. Next day, they're talking about peace. They vacillate. They go back and forth. And then there's the other voice that's like, North Korea will never abandon its blah, 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 blah. Its nuclear weapons ambitions and programs, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's another voice. That's another mouthpiece. It's probably not even connected to the fucking, to the others that I mentioned. And who the fuck do you know who that is? Are you in North Korea? Have you ever met that person? If you look at what North Korea, what I'm saying is, man, what I posit, that might not even be North Korea. Do you speak North Korean, man? Are you there on the ground? Have you seen these people other than this piece of fucking shit? This piece of shat fucking hoe? This hoe ass nigga at the UN? Other than seeing him on TV. Huh? Have you been in North Korea at any of these assemblies? Have you been present to listen to North Korean Hangul language being spoken? To fucking listen for yourself to what they're really saying? No, bro. You probably haven't. You're probably just reading this shit on the internet. And the shit on the internet is a design. It's a psyop. And the psyop is to fucking control your mind and lead you to believe that North Korea is saying this and North Korea is saying that. And who's it coming from? Well, the answer's simple. Since I'm a fucking expert in this shit, it's coming from a lot of different sources. Some of them competing. They're not all in collusion with each other. They're not all working in concert. They're not all in tandem, in conjunction with one another. They're different forces at work, man. Some of it's North Korea. Some of it's the West. Some of it's the East. Some of it's the North. Some of it's the South. Right? Because, man, you're a taxpayer, and unless you're part of the PSYOP, you don't really fucking know. And even if you are part of the PSYOP, do you really know? Are you the one that's sending out the signal to the internet, man? Are you the one writing for these so-called fucking newspapers? These online media fucking groups that are always trying to hype up some doom and gloom? Huh? Do you own those companies? Did you write those articles? Who the fuck wrote that shit, man? Who the fuck really owns these companies, man? Do you know? Huh? Is that really what Kim Jong-un said? You don't really fucking know, do you? When's the last time you heard Kim Jong-un yourself speak fucking English? Huh? When did he get up and say this, and that in fucking English? Right? No, bro. Yeah. You may have heard something, but mostly you haven't. The only thing you've heard, man, is what these motherfuckers, not everyone from North Korea, Others, what they want you to believe, man, to justify their military budget, to justify their intelligence their annual military and defense, U.S. intelligence and foreign intelligence, Western intelligence appropriations, man. Yeah, it's all budgetary, bro. Right? Because people, man, some of them, they like to be part of the complex, the military-industrial complex. They like to be part of it. Hey, to each his, her own. And I understand some of these folks are good folks. A lot of them mean well, right? Well, in order to have that, you need money. You need a budget for that. Well, where do you get the budget and the money for that? You gotta have a pretext to that, man. You gotta have justification. You gotta have rationale. So, the boogeyman, of course, North Korea and fucking Al-Qaeda and whoever, ISIS and whatever, incarnation or permutation, of these different motherfuckers, man, always talking this stupid shit, right? Yeah, but like I said, bro, you can't believe this shit in mainstream media just because you're hearing it from mainstream media. And fuck these tabloids too, man. Listen, you tabloid motherfuckers, I want you to know you're some bitches. And you're some low to the earth, wormy, snaky, viper motherfucker. You're some of the worst fucking wannabes in the whole world of this universe of the multiverse. You guys are assholes, dude. And your fucking karma is really bad for you. Really fucking bad for you. Mark my words.